Just before we get into this video, guys, if you want to follow me on social media, on Twitter and Instagram, the links are here. And if you also want to support me on Patreon as well and help out my channel, that would be absolutely awesome as well. But let's get on with the video. Hey guys, it is Wingy here and welcome to a brand new video. Now, since I did a video about Inside Number 9 a little while ago, people have been asking me to do another video about Inside Number 9. So what I thought I would do today is give you my top 5 Inside Number 9 episodes. There is a bit of a catch though. One, there's so many good episodes of Inside Number 9, so to just narrow it down to 5 was actually borderline impossible and my list kept changing. Second, because I want you guys to check out this show if you haven't already, then I'm not really going to give away spoilers in this, so I can't really talk in detail too much about the episodes that I'm going to be talking about, which is really annoying. But at the same time, because of the nature of Inside Number 9, I don't really just want to give everything away. So without further ado, let's get into it. So at number 5, I'm going to go with The Devil of Christmas. Now some of you might be thinking, that's a bit of a weird choice, because I don't think this episode is really spoken about that much. And I don't know where it ranks generally, you know, when I've watched videos of people talking about Inside Number 9, but I really like this one. Now the main reason why I appreciate this one a lot more is for 2 reasons. First and foremost, the twist, which I'm not going to give away. However, in my opinion, I think it is one of the most jaw-dropping twists that we have ever gotten in Inside Number 9. I didn't see it coming, and it's one of those moments where it's just like, holy fucking shit. To me at least, anyway. You may disagree. Again, can't really say what it is, but if you know, you know. The second reason why is because of how this episode is shot. Now, for those who don't know, this episode is basically a love letter to old classic horror movies, sort of 70s B-movie type films. It's shot in the same way that those old movies would have been. The cameras are exactly the same. The acting is quite hammy and bad on purpose. And I just think it's really clever and original, because nowadays, if something was set in the past, they would film it with modern techniques and on modern cameras with modern angles. It would look modern, but the clothing and the sets and everything would make it look like the time period it's from. Whereas this genuinely does look like something that could have been made in the 70s. Pemberton and Shearsmith really clearly love 70s B-grade horror movies, because, or just 70s TV and movies in general, because you can tell that they've done their research on this. You can tell that they're passionate about it. You know, it's little things like little fuck-ups in the background, like people walking into shot when they shouldn't, or the zoom going in a bit too far. Just little pieces like that. It really brings an episode like this just to life. This is one where I think the actual episode itself, in terms of the plot, isn't that great. However, I think it is the way that it's made. I really appreciate that, and I think the twist really makes this one. So that's why I would give this one a go. And it's one of my favourites. It's the one that I'd probably rewatch the most, to be honest. So in at number 4 then, I'm going to go with Cold Comfort. Now this is another interesting one, because similarly with The Devil of Christmas, this one isn't filmed in a conventional way. This episode is filmed via little webcams, I assume. I think, yeah, it's probably a webcam. And it's set in a call centre, so not like your typical AO call centre or Vodafone call centre. It's more like one of those comfort lines that you would phone, like sort of Samaritans or something like that. So you'd ring up and then you speak to somebody and they deal with your problems. Or at least they listen to you talk about your problems. Now the reason why I like this one so much is because this one, I think, is one of the funnier ones, because with Inside Number 9, obviously it's written by Pemberton and Shearsmith. Dark humour is exactly what they do, and I think you really get that from this one. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like this is the funniest one out of the entire series, because it's not, but I think the way that this episode builds, it is quite funny and it is quite humorous in its moments, but then it takes a really dark turn. This one is really hard to figure out as well, like what the twist is actually going to be, and I think the twist itself isn't the most satisfying one, because I don't fully buy it. But at the same time, I am sort of like, oh, no fucking way. Well, when I first saw it, I was. Now I know what happened, I'm just like, yeah. The beautiful thing about Inside Number 9 is, because you know the format of it, and because you know that there is going to be some big reveal towards the end, it's always fun trying to figure out what that is. And because of the nature of this one, because it's set in a call centre and it's filmed on webcams, there's multiple different webcams that you're looking at one point or another. You literally are looking all over the place in detail, trying to figure out what it could be, or who it could be in this case. Steve Pemberton's character in this one is also really good. At first he starts off as this guy who is just a decent guy, he just wants to help, and then gradually throughout the episode he just loses his shit more and more, and he gets more and more paranoid, and it's just beautifully done. I think Pemberton is really good in this one. In at number 3, we're going to go with The Riddle of the Sphinx. I think this is easily the cleverest one that they have ever done. Personally, I don't think it's the best one, because obviously it's number 3, but this one is just ingenious, and to think of all the stuff that they do in this one is just, it must have taken days, weeks, months even. So the basic premise of this one is, at a university, a young girl sneaks into a professor's office because this professor tends to release a, what are they called? Crossword. That's it. He releases a crossword every week, and she wants to find out the answers, and she wants to seem more intelligent for her boyfriend. So it starts off with the professor catching her explaining the situation, and him sort of showing her how to solve the riddles. That's pretty much as I can say. It goes from there. There's quite a few twists and turns in this one, actually. And again, similar to Cold Comfort, whilst it's not the funniest one, there are quite a lot of humorous moments in this episode. But then it takes a really dark turn, and it's just like, wow, okay, did not see that coming. But what makes this really clever is the actual crosswords and how they solved them, how it leads up to the finale with the words on the board. The professor character, played by Steve Pemberton, the way that he explains the crosswords and how to figure out the answers, I still don't get. It's way too complicated for me, and well, I just didn't care enough to sort of pay attention, so there you are. But no, it's really intricately done, and I like that. It's the attention to detail, and that's why I think Inside Number 9 is one of the greatest British series in the last few years, because every single part of this is crucial, and if you miss it or if you don't keep up, then you're not with us. I like that. It gets your brain working, and I think this one especially is one that gets your brain working. Steve Pemberton, again, is brilliant in this one. I think this is arguably the best one that he's done. Sort of, well, one of his best characters and best performances in the show. This is definitely up there. So there's 2 left, and I'm pretty sure everybody knows, who at least has seen Inside Number 9, knows at least one of them, and you would be right. However, there is another one that I think a lot of people will just be like, you've got to have that one as well. Yeah, I have. At number 2, it's Bernie Clifton's dressing room. This one, oh my god. This one was one of those ones where, again, like always with Inside Number 9, you are trying to figure out what the twist is, you're trying to figure out where it is, and this one really breaks your heart. It's a really, really emotional episode. Not totally, but it really packs a punch, this one. So the basic premise of this one then, there is this comedic double act that have been split up for quite a few decades now, and this is them sort of coming together again for one last show. This is what they're going to do for their finale, but obviously there's a couple of complications and there's a couple of fights that still haven't been resolved yet. Steve Pemberton's character is very much in the mindset of, what we did back in the day was brilliant, let's just keep doing that. Whereas Reece Shearsmith is more just like, I've moved on, comedy's moved on, I don't even want to do this. And that conflict throughout the entire thing is what really drives this forward, because you see both of them come to compromises, and you see both of them show more of an understanding to how the other one feels, and their dynamic and their chemistry together is what really makes this one. You know, it basically tells you a story of their double act and how it fell apart, if it can be repaired. And all round, this is just really, really, really cleverly done. Because again, you're trying to figure out the twist. This one, couldn't find it at all. Didn't see it coming. I mean, towards the end I kind of figured it, but yeah, this one really does pack a punch. It's heartwarming in places and it's heartbreaking in others. It's definitely not just one of the best episodes of Inside Number 9, but one of the best pieces of television that I think I've ever seen. It's genuinely that good. And then at number 1, it's obvious in it, it's 12 Days of Christine. Now this one is just phenomenal. Similar with Bernie Clifton, like, this is just one of the best pieces of television that I think I have ever seen. The premise of this one, so this one doesn't really have Steve Pemberton and Shearsmith in it too much, because the focus is more on Sheridan Smith, and it basically sort of tells you her life. It sort of flicks through her life, like when she first met her partner, when she was turning 30, when she was having kids, when she was getting married, all that sort of stuff, and it flicks through it. There's this guy watching her the entire time, however, and you see at various points in her life her open a cupboard or go in the bathroom or something, and this guy's just there. So that's what I really like about this one, the fact that there are horror aspects to this one, but it is essentially just we're watching somebody's life unfold in front of our eyes. Every single thing about this one, every beat, every line, just everything about it is perfection. I can't stress that enough. This is honestly one of the greatest TV things ever, especially when you build up towards the end and you don't really see it. Like, there's a moment just before the twist happens where everything just seems fine, but everything's a bit off at the same time. then it's revealed what's actually happening, and you're just like, oh, fucking hell. And that's what I love about Inside Number 9. To me, this is pinnacle, because what it does is it has the horror aspects, it has the comedy aspects, everything is done in great detail. All the cast are brilliant. The twist is not only amazing, but you don't really see it coming either. Now, those elements there sort of seem standard for every episode of Inside Number 9. However, I can't really say that every single episode nails every single one of those elements. I think 12 Days of Christine is the one that just nails every single one of them. And that's why it's number 1. Like, if you've seen Inside Number 9, this is the one that always jumps out to people. Everybody always talks about 12 Days of Christine. Yeah, this one is great. And if you are new to Inside Number 9, I would check this one out. However, at the same time, because it is the best one, and I don't think there are many that are better than it. Well, I don't think there are any better than it. So maybe you'll be disappointed after this one, but who knows? This is just, even if you only watch this one. So yeah, that is going to be my top 5 Inside Number 9 episodes then, guys. In the comments below, let me know what you think. Do you like the ones that I've picked? What would your top 5 be? If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like on it. Subscribe for more. Social media and Patreon are in the description below, so if you would follow me on any of those things, then I would absolutely love you forever. But until next time, guys, you take care of yourselves. Goodbye. I'm so fucking tired. At a university, fuck off.